Hello, my name is Ashley, this is Faithful Rattos, and welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be introducing you to and chatting about my recent litters and telling you what's been going on and all the things. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So the first litter, the older litter, is the Lyros. Their mum is Lyra and their dad is Goro, hence the Lyros. They are about 5.5-ish weeks old now, and they are absolutely lovely. I'm going to introduce you to them individually in a second and tell you all about their names, etc., and what they're like. They will be going to a breeder friend of mine very soon, and this is because we have a lone book and we have a very small litter, and so I just want them to get that extra socialization of being in a big group. Now, it's not strictly necessary for the does, but I do think it's beneficial, and since my book is already going there, it just makes sense for me to do it, all three of them. So yeah, let's get started and introduce you to the babbies. So the first babby I have to introduce you to is this little guy. He is the buck from the litter, as you can see, and he is an agouti, like his daddy. Yes, so he will carry sea locust, which is the types of varieties that I want to work on. I don't know if he carries Burmese or not. He will carry sea locust, I just don't know if he has Burmese. And he carries Russian, and he will have the possibility to carry Self, as both mom and dad had Self, so one of them could have passed on Self. We just don't know because he looks agouti. We'll find out when we use him in the future. But this little guy is naughty and cheeky and very, very brave. He loves to explore, run around, and cause mischief. He is a little womanizer in the making, which he's only like 5 weeks old. But yes, this is Yagami, and Rat Dad named him from the Yakuza video game series, and obviously that goes in line with his dad's name, and his show name will be Faithful Truth Seeker, because Yagami is a private detective. Yeah, this is the little Yagas. He's pretty much, you are a carbon copy of your dad, aren't you? Yes, you are. You're a carbon copy of your daddy. Boop. And this next little one is our little black doe, who for a while I thought she was a Russian blue agouti. She wasn't. So she is black, obviously, and so that means she is self-based, which means that if she carries Burmese, she'll be basically like a hidden Burmese. She could possibly be not carrying Burmese, but we won't know until we pair her later on when she's old enough. She is called Saori. And this is another name that Rat Dad came up with from the Yakuza series after their dad, obviously. And her show name will be Faithful Protector of the Weak, as she is a lawyer who takes on cases for victims, I think. She is a wonderfully naughty little girl, like her mum and her dad. And she is a little bit less confident than Yagi, and obviously her sister is kind of on that end too, but she's not confident, if that makes sense. He's just really, really bold and really, really naughty. She loves to sit on your shoulder in your hair, don't you? And she's always like that ever since she was a tiny little baby. She's gone in my top. She's always been like that ever since she was a tiny little baby. And yeah, she's lovely, and I can't wait to see her again once she's been away for socialization. But yeah, she's still in my top right now. She's a bit more of a cuddler. I would say that actually this is kind of like opposite to what they say is the temperament difference between bucks and does. Yagi is like the naughty, adventurous one, and these two are a little bit more calm and a little bit more cuddly. And as you can see, she just went straight into my top and is currently still in there. That is Saori. Did you just lick my boob? Okay. I'm going to leave her in there since she's comfortable, and I'll get her sister. Okay. And the final one from that litter, that very small litter, is Stelmaria. She is a Siamese, and now many of you will be like, but she doesn't look Siamese yet, Ashley. She's like a beige colour. The interesting thing about Siamese babies is they actually have this sort of beige colour, and then they like fade out, and then they get their points. While she still does have points currently, and she's in that transitional phase, they're all out of kitten coat now, that they do start like darker like this and then they lighten up. So sadly I won't get to see that. I do think she is a golden Siamese just based on the tone of her beige and the fact that she has demarcation, which would indicate an agouti based something. She's a big chunker. She kind of looked like a hamster when she was a baby. Just because of how like short and chubby she was. She's not so bad now, but I do think Lyra had this when she was a baby. She was kind of short and kind of squarish. She did get longer and racier, but yeah, these guys are little chunkers because they've just been in such a small litter and they haven't had to really compete for milk or anything. Have you? No. And you're already starting to get a really lovely head shape. I am really excited to see how this litter will develop because they're just so wonderful. And she's also a little bit more of a cuddler than an adventurer, but she's still brave. She's still curious. She loves to come and see. She loves to be on shoulders or in tops, which that got proven very well, didn't it? And yeah, her name is Stelmaria, and this comes from His Dark Materials, like Lyra's name. And Stelmaria is a snow leopard demon in His Dark Materials, and she is the demon of Lyra, the character's dad, which I thought fit really well. And her show name will be Faithful Fierce Soul, because if you are unaware about what a demon is in His Dark Materials, it's basically your soul in animal form. So that is that. This is Stelmaria, and her show name, as I said, is based on that. She is a lovely girl too, and she really in face reminds me of Lyra. I think she really looks like her mum in face, and she has done for a very long time now. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this litter has turned out. Now, I can't obviously make the best judgments on type yet, as they're still quite young, but I don't think they're going to have bad type. Hopefully, anyway. They still have quite a bit of growing to do before we find that out. But I'm really happy with this litter. I would have liked a little bit more choice to pick keepers, to not have a single book. That would have been much helpfuler. But we shall hope that my next round of litters I have bigger litters, because the next litter that I'm going to talk to you about isn't much bigger, is it? No, it's not. And the second litter I had this time around is the Dantes. So this is Dandelion is the mummy and Beatty is the dad. And Beatty is actually the granddad of the other litter because he is Lyra's dad too. So that is that situation. They didn't work out the first time I paired them. I actually had to pair them a second time, hence why they are 4.5 weeks younger than my litter that I've currently got. It took me a while to catch Dandelion in heat, and I was lining my breeding plans up with some other breeders, so that's why we ended up with such a big gap between them. Dandelion is doing a wonderful job, and they are 5 days old today, and I'm going to put some video on the screen because I just wanted to check on them while Dandy was happy for me to do that, and not when I had the time to film this video, if that makes sense. So we have 5 little ones in that litter, and they're all Dumbo because Dandy and Beatty are both Dumbos. Now, people have asked me why I chose to do a Dumbo to Dumbo pairing, and that's just because type-wise it was the best match, and I didn't want to breed rats with poor type, and breeding Dumbo to Dumbo can be done if you are selecting properly. So yeah, those guys are doing very well. They are about 5 days old now, and they are getting their colours in. I don't quite know what we've got going on there, but we have the possibility for a variety of different things. So we could have Russian if Dandelion carries it, because her mum definitely carried it, so she could have passed that on to her to carry. And dad is Russian, obviously, so that means that they both can together create Russian babies, possibly. So we could have Russian. But other than that, we will get Wheaten and Burmese and Sable Wheaten and Sable Burmese and all of those. What is going on? those are the possibilities of what we could have in that litter, but they're just a little bit too young to know that. I can't even really tell whether they're agouti based or self based yet. So we shall see, and I will update you on how that is going. Oh, Dantes, I didn't tell you, there are 2 books and 3 does, and one of the books is Rex, which is really nice to have the book be the Rex so that I can use it more than I can use a doe, if that makes sense. Thankfully, we don't have any singletons, but we do have still quite a small litter. So I am thinking about the future of the line here. And if this carries on being a trend, I may have to do an outcross to try and resolve that. But yes, that is what's going on with my litters here at the moment. Lots of things. Tomorrow is an exciting day because it is the 25th anniversary show for the MRC, and it's a big day. The show's going to be really fun. There's a big tombola and lots of fun stuff and a party afterwards and everything. So yeah, that is fun. I'm going to be trying to do a vlog of that tomorrow. So fingers crossed that's the next video you'll see on my channel. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!